Hi, so it's been a while. So today I'm going to talk about another person that I met, and this is very fresh. This is like from yesterday. And I met this person, not met, I connected with him on a matrimonial site yesterday. We spent the day yesterday, just like a few hours in the afternoon and few minutes in the evening. And then today I had already decided what I wanted to do, and I communicated that to him. And that ended very quickly. So, this is a story about that and a different kind of experience that this has been. So, on paper, I met this person, came across his profile. So, just all further reference when I say I meet him, came across his profile or interacted on WhatsApp. So I came across his profile, which was very interesting. He is very well qualified. He's done his MBA. He works in a very good company. He's very well to do. But on his profile, he did mention that he was born deaf. He does use hearing aids and can listen, but he is differently abled. So my grandmother was deaf, so and we could speak normally. She however had gone deaf at a later point in her life, so her speech and all was not really affected. But this person, and because of that, I do not know the full extent, right, of the situation or what is his condition, which is why I thought that, yeah, maybe I should give this profile a chance. It looks good, and you never know, why do you have to judge someone based on an ability or a drawback of sorts. So I connected with him, and then he was really nice, and he told me upfront, like, do you know that I'm deaf? I said, yes, I did read it. But I think in marriage, it's all about communicating and understanding each other, and if that's there, then why not? So we spoke for a few hours. I wanted to know how he sounds and how he is able to like communicate using phones. I did also ask him that what about the Zoom calls and meetings, how does he work? And he uses the caption option when he's on meetings, and he cannot really take calls. His family members or friends take the call, and then like a normal phone call, or it's text. When and so I did ask him to like send me a voice note in return, and then he sent me something that what he sent me, I couldn't make sense of it first, and then I said it does not make sense. So he sent me another one, and that sounded more like Siri. Like for example, what Stephen Hawking uses for like the audio, it translates your word to audio, like something like that. So when I played it, it was more like an automated sound and not really his voice. And then I asked him pushed him a little. I asked him, like, can you like send me your voice, because I want to know what you sound like. And then when I heard that, I was a little, I will not I will be honest, I was a little scared, because there was this because he was not born with the hearing. He doesn't know clearly how to pronounce or how to, obviously, the vocal, he works with a speech therapist and things like that to improve. But that audio is what made me really think that maybe I'm not, because I was a little afraid. I realized that I would need to adapt to that, and he did say that yes, his lip movement and his writing pad is how he communicates with people around, and also uses his phone. So it did get me thinking that, okay, is this what I would want to adjust with? Or marriage is adjustment, but is this what I would want to live with? Or because marriage is hard enough, right? And do I want to complicate it further by adding this variation into it? And I thought about it. I also told him that I'm a little stressed, and he said, why are you stressed? Because I'm living alone. I'm actually independent. I can do everything on my own. But that's not the point. It's about communicating, and I think I would want to be heard um, at times. And also, yeah, I think that I really did feel that. And also, while we were texting, there were these instances where he spoke about of himself in the third person, so it didn't make sense. It was not like the text communication was absolutely clear. If that was clear, maybe it would have still been fine, but I was struggling to understand what he was texting me sometimes, and then the audio issue. And then I decided that, not to waste, just to keep, like, what do I feel. And I have taken this thought process, like in projects we generally have, like, let's fail fast. So, if it's not working, you move on. So within that time I was like, okay, is this something that I want to adapt to? And is this something that I want to spend time, because I do have to live with him? Is this a change that I'm okay to include? And that will need time, and I will need time to understand what he's saying, because he has not, and another thing is, he has not learned sign language. He knows very basic. So I asked him, does he know sign language, because that's something that I would want to learn. So he said no, he has not learned sign language a lot, just the basics, because his father forced him to talk. Maybe parents should not force their kids to talk. And side note, but coming back to the point, so he did not use sign language. I would have to understand by writing, or when he's trying to speak, which is not very, very clear from what I heard from the voice note. And so yesterday evening I did tell him immediately that, I'm a little stressed. I don't think, this is a lot lot for me. It's very challenging. And I did say that marriage is difficult, and this is like another challenge that I'm adding to it. So he's like, no. He just tried to sell this idea that no, everything is normal. I'm completely fine. I think at some point we have to admit that there is going to be a challenge for somebody who's going to live with you. Even in normal cases, people who do not have any disability also, like, for two normal people to live together also requires a lot of adjustment and understanding. And in this case, I would have been increasing that challenge by I don't know how many times. So I decided that I was not going to go ahead with it. But I did connect, because I wanted to know. I wanted to give this prospect a chance, because I don't ever want to go back and say that no, I just completely brushed off everyone. And this person seemed really, really nice. Even when conversations, like the movies that we watched, all of that was fine. But at the end of the day, I want someone who can, who I can communicate with without probably having that extra conscious. It is a challenge. You can't say that no, it's not. It's just going to be smooth just because he has hearing aids. He admitted that he writes, and we have to understand what he's saying, because he's not using sign language. He talks, and we have to understand what he says. So he says, my colleagues understand me, my friends understand me, but they have taken some time to understand him. And the time is something that I was not really willing, because I was being very conscious about, do I really want to spend more time on this? And more than time also, I think it was about the lifestyle that I would have to adapt to. I would have to, one, change cities. I would also have to understand him, along with everything that I asked him, how does he wake up in the morning? How does alarm work for him? He said it vibrates. So this is like a lot. And on the surface, you could say that yes, he is living a normal life, but to make that normal, he has put in a lot of effort. I really respect that man, because it's not easy to try to be normal. When he says he's normal, it is with a lot of effort, and his struggle and the challenges that he has come across. So I'm very aware of that. But at the same time, it was a choice that I had to make. Whether do I want to adapt to that life or not? And in this case, I didn't feel that I wanted to. It's my choice. So I communicated that to him, and that didn't go very well. I tried to tell him that that this is something that I cannot. I said it's difficult for me. It is a challenge. So he said, "What is the challenge?" And when I explained to him that, when I tried to explain to him that why is it a challenge for me, he said, well, I live a normal life, and eventually I still had to say that no, I'm not comfortable. I really do not want to take this ahead. So he said, I don't really what did he say? He said something like, I don't trust your judgment. I don't trust your judgment. He doesn't trust my judgment that I will be able to live with him. And he took it pretty hard, and then he said it's because of my prejudice of his disability, which is not the case. I mean, yes, there is a disability, but of course the other person has to make a choice, right? Whether they do want to take this on or not. So I'll just quickly read a bit from his text, because I think it could have gone a little differently, but it did not. And I've been rejected so many times. I'm okay, because obviously the person is choosing the life partner. It's not something that you could just rush into. So I did say that I repeated myself. I said, I have immense respect for you. I'm amazed, but marriage is a different ball game. And then he said, hey, thank you for rejecting me because of my disability. However, my mother was dismayed in your choice because of your prejudice. Even your parent is unaware that a relative or acquaintance of yours has a handicap. I don't need friends like you because you don't have as much talent or compassion. But I'm content with the many friends I have from a large social circle, including my colleagues at work and in college. They value the importance of my abilities, blah blah blah. And people often claim that while someone who has lived alone is strong, those who share their hardships with someone else gets 2 times as much strength, yada yada. But yeah, he sent like a very big paragraph. But it's okay, right? It's okay to have your own choice. I did consider it. I reviewed it, and then I decided that it was way too challenging. It was not the kind of life that I wanted, and it's fine. I should not feel any guilt. But his response just made it more clear that I'm glad that I made the right choice. So I'm fine with it. I'm completely okay with that. And recently there was this other person as well. I think this was 2 weeks ago or last week. This other guy, he was offended because I asked him what was whether he was above or below a certain income range. I didn't ask him for his salary, but I asked him this question because obviously when you're getting married, you're also looking at the financial stability of the person, and it's an important question to ask. But he was very, very offended, and because of that question, I have been rejected. So, well, go figure, I guess. And my journey of going through different people, different kinds of people still continues. I hope it comes to an end soon, or it does go on pause because I get bored of this. I'm not bored, but I'm more like tired and exhausted of meeting people, introducing yourself. But then yeah, you see cases like these, and then you're like, okay, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm gonna go and pause it again. So yeah, forever, never-ending journey, which I hope it ends someday soon. So I will wrap this up with this right here. So yeah, maybe see you again soon. Another different episode about another different person that I met.